Hello, everyone. Welcome into another episode of the Story Lesson Advice Podcast, part of Saturday is Saturday Media. At Saturday is Saturday Media is the YouTube and Instagram handle. sidmedia.net is the website. Thank you very much for listening. I am going to get right into this. I asked, have you ever seen the Nail in the Head skit? And if you have, you know where I'm going with this. And if you haven't, it is a hilarious skit that I will post to my Instagram stories so you can see it, and I'll link the YouTube video. I think if it's still out there on my in the podcast notes here for this. But basically, it is a woman that is telling her husband that her head is just a splitting headache. And every time that she tries to put on a sweater, she ruins her sweater. And every time she tries to bend forward or walk close to a wall, she hits her head, or all those kind of things. And basically, the camera pans out and you see, guess what? She has a nail in her head. And the husband, the whole time, is trying to say, well, if you just look at, you have a nail in your head. And she keeps interrupting and says, stop, I don't want you to solve my problem. I just need you to listen. Stop trying to fix everything. And I think that is just a hilarious juxtaposition of what you deal with in marriage and relationships and everything. But it was more closely related to me because my wife had a similar story, not with a nail in her head, but it taught me, reiterated a valuable lesson. And the story for my wife is she works in an office, and we have a daughter who's 5, and my wife wants to make sure that she can maximize the amount of time that she has with our daughter, and that's wonderful. So to make sure she can do that, she gets up early in the morning to work out. And good on you, and kudos to you, Beth, and to anybody else out there that can work out early in the morning. I cannot do it. My body's just too creaky and cracky and old to work out at 5 in the morning. I need to be up. I need to relax a little bit, get loose before I do that. So my wife works out in the morning, and she's talking to me about how she just kind of, sometimes it's frustrating because she feels like she doesn't have a lot of time and she's always rushing and all of that. And all of that is true. And in the past, when we've talked about that, I have tried to point out that she has a nail in her head. And I've had to point it out to try to say, like, well, hey, what if you worked out this day instead of that day? Or what if you worked out at night instead of in the morning, or whatever? And that led to some frustrating conversation on her end because she wasn't looking for me to solve her problem. And as you kind of zoom out from that, like, yes, obviously, my wife is a smart woman. She's probably considered these different things, and she is working out when she's working out because she's arrived at that being kind of the least worst option in order for her to do everything that she needs to do and maximize the time with her daughter and with me. So that, to me, is an interesting story because when I hear my wife talking about that, my brain is going into help mode, and not because I don't think she's capable or not because I want to be a hero, but because, hey, there's someone there that I care about. So I'm trying to do what I can to be helpful. And that story taught me another valuable lesson.